didn't prep them for this, so who knows what they're gonna say, but we're gonna do a couple questions. Again, I'll start with a couple softballs, and then I will let you guys jump in as well. Well, why don't we do introductions first, just so everybody knows who's in the room here. Just give us your name, sport, year, hometown. Yeah? All right.
Hello everybody, my name is Trent. I'm on the men's basketball team. I'm a freshman, and I'm from West Covina, California.
Hello, I'm Eric Dailey from Bradenton, Florida. I'm a sophomore here on the men's basketball team.
Hi, my name is Frias. I'm a junior on the women's soccer team from San Jose, California.
My name is Valerie. I play for women's soccer, and my hometown is Pico Rivera, California.
So
Sophomore.
We got a lot of time left with her. So big picture, can you guys kind of talk about how your experience with NIL has been so far? Maybe if you've had a brand deal that you were really excited about, what was that like? And we'll just start with that. Maybe we go reverse order here.
So my biggest NIL deal is probably Adidas. It was a dream since I was like a little kid. But yeah, I started because I started playing in the Mexico national team, and I feel like that was like a big thing for me. So like that really helped me.
My name's, oh wait, I already said my name, sorry. But my biggest and probably favorite NIL deal has probably been with a law firm that we both did. They're called Adamson Adu, and they both went to UCLA. And it was kind of just a cool experience, like a cool networking experience. And I think that kind of shows a different part of NIL. It doesn't necessarily only mean brands. We got to work with a super cool company, and it opened up a lot of opportunities and doors for us both. So I think that was super cool.
I like to thank Men of Westwood for NIL, honestly. We got so many events we do with them, with kids and younger kids and camps and basketball-wise and off-court stuff. So they really set it up for us to be a part of the community through NIL. And that's probably one of the biggest things for me.
Yeah, I'd also like to take time to thank Ken Grayward, Men of Westwood, just for helping us build this platform at UCLA. But outside of that, I think my biggest NIL deal is Red Bull. Shout out the Red Bull fam. It's more of like a partnership. At the end of the day, they told me that they're gonna invest in me, and I'm investing them back. So it's pretty cool. It's not just like a one-way street.
Love it. Well, and everybody knows that NIL has a lot to do with building your brand, getting your name out there. So what has maybe your approach been to building your brand and social media in this NIL era? And is there anything that you want Bruin fans to know about you and your brand?
Yeah, I think, just being on the market, being marketable is one of the biggest things in this era. Doing things that you like, that pertain to you, that shows your interest is the biggest thing. I'll never do an NIL deal that wouldn't reflect me. So I think that's one of the biggest things in this era, just doing things that you like and represent your brand in a positive way.
I think NIL has also kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to we just being student athletes at an institution like UCLA, we're marketable just off of that. And I think just our social medias reflect on that. So just kind of knowing what to post. Thankfully, we have someone like Maddie who can kind of give us a guideline and sort of a map to what brands like to see, what they don't, and just what's appealing to fans, whether it's little girls or boys who kind of just look up to you. It's fun to have your platform, Instagram, TikTok, and just kind of post day in the life videos or what do student athletes eat, because I think a lot of those things are super interesting to fans who, or just little girls and boys, like I said, who want to play here at UCLA or just any other D1 program.
Yeah, coming off of what Amit said, I'm a very big community girl, so I'm wow, so if it affects my community or impacts it, I'm okay, I'm so open to this NIL deal, and I feel that's a big part of I guess my branding or whatever. But yeah, Maddie also helps us a lot. There's a lot of apps that you could just what is it yeah, get NIL deals, and I feel that helps us a lot. But yeah, it's super important for us as well. It's a big privilege, especially being here at UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately with NIL, I could just be myself. Going back to what Ide said, I'll never do an NIL deal that I'm not comfortable with. because at the end of the day, social media is like a big thing. Everybody's gonna see it. So, like, yo, all right. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, going back to like E-Day, like not doing an NIL deal that I'm not comfortable with allows me to build my brand, build a platform. So NIL is pretty cool.
I think so too, not just because it's my whole job. So I think one thing that everybody knows about student athletes is that you guys are so busy, right? There's a lot on your plate. You've got classes, training, tutoring, film, not to mention travel for games right now, or when you're in season. So how do you balance NIL with everything else you've got going on, and does that change when you get into the season?
Shoot. I mean, I always put me first at the end of the day. Like, I'm not really money driven, so like, if there's an NIL deal that's pretty big, but I'm still not comfortable doing it, I have the opportunity to, decline it. But at the end of the day, I got my parents and like, of course, other representatives to help me like manage throughout like my NIL deals, like what I need to do, what I need to post, and whatnot. So the management part is not too difficult. So that's like probably the best thing about it.
Yeah, just kind of piggybacking with what he was saying. Time is at the essence for us college athletes. School, studying, practice, all that stuff. It starts to add up. During the off season is probably the best time to do things NIL wise, just because your schedule is not as hectic, and you can move around more. You got more flexibility. During the season is a little bit harder. That's really when I think the best time to get NIL deals is off season. So when you're in season, you can just focus on the main thing. And when you handle the stuff on the court or the field, everything off the court or the field is going to handle itself. So that's really how I take it when I think about managing my time with NIL.
Kind of going off of what Eric just said, just like we're marketable because of like our abilities on the field and on the court. So like ultimately we came to UCLA because of what we can do on the field or court. So I think that's first and foremost, most important. And then also kind of to piggyback off of what like Coach Mark said earlier, no one's really forced to do NIL. It's like a privilege. So like if we have time, we have time. But like kind of like what Trent said, I don't really think a lot of athletes here at UCLA are really money driven. So it's kind of just like an extra perk of being a student athlete here at UCLA.
No, yeah, I feel like off season is obviously like the best time when you could do NIL, but like on season, I feel like focus on like obviously your sport and school, but I'd say it's super difficult obviously, but thankfully like I have my family that helps me, and I also have like my agent, and like I recently joined like Taekwondo sports, which like helps me get NIL deals, and also like the apps that Maddie like refers, that tells you to do it. And I feel like that's like a huge help, and also like all the resources that we have here is like such a big help, and like just like a way, like there's no weight on your shoulder because of that. So I feel like that's a lot of help.
Well, I could keep going, but I will turn it over. I feel like there might be more questions for you guys because you are the superstars. So any questions from our guests tonight?
Harvey Jones, LA Sentinel. Can you talk about just how much you all have learned about business, and how much NIL has expanded your brand?
I think coming into college and being part of like an NIL world, I think it opens your eyes to a lot of like money essentially, and it is kind of scary at first because you're kind of getting all these brands reaching out to you, whatnot, and it's just like at first the first thought is like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I'm gonna do it, but you do kind of have to like, you're forced to like learn and manage and like kind of weed out what brands maybe aren't the best for you, and I think that definitely will stay with me after NIL and like after college, just like weighing in like all of my options money wise and just like business wise.
I'd say I did learn a lot, just because like I like when I came here I knew nothing about taxes, and I'm like I see an NIL deal, I'm like, oh shoot, like that's a lot of money, and then after I'm like, okay, like this is like not as much I expected, so I was like, dang, like I really have to like, and obviously like sometimes we have like meetings of like taxes and stuff that helps us. So I feel like that's like a huge help as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think NIL is great. First off, how basically what she was saying, Texas. You learn that you can make so much money, and you just kind of look at the number that's in black and white. You don't think about the money that's getting taken when you go through tax season, and you know, like for us basketball players, it's a lot of big numbers being thrown around, and you gotta be ready what comes with that. You know, what they say, more money, more problems. So at a young age, if you can learn that, learn to save your money, learn to be responsible with it, learn to invest your money, learn not to be reckless with it. If you learn that at a young age, it'll only help you as you go on in life. And I think this is the perfect time to learn those money skills at a young age. You know, some people have advisors, some people have good family people in their life to show them what to do with their money. But a lot of kids don't. So I think the more knowledge you have about your finances in this NIL market, in the NIL world right now, the better you'll be off. And you can really set your life up for a lot of things and then get a head start with it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like being introduced to NIL, I had to mature even faster, mentally, just because now you're dealing with big corporations, grown-ups. Like, you know, at the end of the day, we're still college students. Like, there's a lot of money thrown at us, like for soccer, basketball, especially. So, yeah, I had to stay true to myself, like throughout this whole entire NIL process, because there's a lot of pressure. Like everybody knows, basically they can look up on the internet what you're making, what type of deals you get, and all that. So and now social media is a big access to the person. Like somebody could text me, Ide, America, they could text anybody. So it can get scary, but at the end of the day, everybody had to learn, they had to stay true to themselves.
Hi guys, Mike Regalado, Bruin Report. You're obviously learning about a lot of things now. You talked about taxes and deals that are good for you, but also what is NIL teaching you about the future and investing and preparing your life after sport if by chance you don't go pro? What has it taught you to basically help you with your finances going forward?
Shoot, I don't touch my money. I'll be honest. My dad, he works in banking. I also have a financial advisor as well. They both, work together a lot. And my dad was like, "Yeah, you're not touching the money. You're living off your stipend." And he told me at the end of the day, that when I'm done playing, in college and hopefully going on to the next level, that I'm gonna have $1 million saved in the bank account. And I'm leaning a lot on him just because, he's smarter than me, of course, and especially taxes, Cali is bad. So yeah, I don't touch it.
Yeah, just like Trent, I don't touch my money as well. But I think the best thing with NIL, like you said, you can get a head start if you do it right, save the money. I think another good thing about NIL is it allows you to invest in something that will make the money back. For instance, my dad has a company where he travels the world and trains players, and he does pickleball cruises. And yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah, he does pickleball cruises, daily training cruises. So, but I have the ability to invest in my own family's company, and reap the benefits later. I think that's good as well. That's setting up for the next life after basketball. Because a lot of us don't know when our clock's going to stop. We don't know when the last time we'll kick a ball or shoot a basketball. So it's important to be knowledgeable about your money and know that it could be gone in an instant. But if you do it right, you can save it for life.
I also do not touch my money. My parents take care of that, and I'm very thankful for them for doing that. But I think NIL also both of our sports, we're fortunate enough to have different leagues to go pro after college. But there's other sports, for example, gymnastics, who they're kind of done after college, and they have to sort of take advantage the best they can of the NIL deals, of the money they're making in college, because essentially that's the furthest they'll go, or a water polo or stuff like that. And I think that's kind of the beauty of NIL. It gives athletes here in college the ability to invest in their futures and think about their futures and like how they can help them. And I think that's super cool about NIL.
I also try not to touch my money. It's obviously super difficult, but I feel like just like my family also like talks about like, oh, like if you spend this much, then like the consequences is like, oh, you might not get like a better deal, or you might not get this or that. And I'm like, okay, like shoot, I need to like really lock in and like not touch my money. And also I feel like, yeah, NIL is obviously like a big privilege, but like it also makes you like learn so much on like what you can and what you can't do. And obviously like in NIL there's like good and bad things. And I'd say like just coming off of that, I feel like it's just like a huge privilege, and I feel like it just makes you just learn a lot. And I feel like, I don't know, like not touching your money, I feel like that was like my big thing, because like I was like every single time, like obviously California is super expensive, so I feel like that was like super difficult. But yeah, I feel like it's super important to be cautious of what you do.
Sure. And before we get to the next question, I'll jump in too with a fun statistic that even for professional athletes, for the average male professional athlete, brand endorsements make up about 37% of his total income. For female professional athletes, the number is closer to 80%. So even if you do go pro and you have a successful career after college, that NIL money still matters, right? And so I always tell our athletes like that, the relationships you build today while you're in college could set you up for growing that percentage later when you are in your pro career, and it will carry over. So I think they're going to be just fine, but always love to throw that out there.
First off, Ken Grayward, thanks you for the shout out. What does it feel like to walk into a store like this, see your name on merchandise, go over to that big board and see all the kind of stuff that people can order?
It's pretty cool, actually. Just, you know, seeing that your hard work is put on display. I think that's a big testament to all the athletes who work here. Being able to have the access to, you know, my jersey or his jersey or their jersey as well. I remember my mom walked in here one time, she asked, "Where's your jersey at?" I said, "You gotta go online." But I guess today you don't have to do that no more. So that's very exciting, and we're just grateful for this opportunity. You know, we're at the best university in America, and have this opportunity to market ourselves like this is just big. So.
Yeah, I think a big thank you to Maddie and everyone part of like the NIL group here. I think it's awesome. Not a lot of student athletes who even go through NIL get to have their shirts, jerseys displayed in their store. And kind of like what Eric said, I know my parents and my grandparents and everyone who comes to my games are going to be ecstatic just to like even have the opportunity to walk in and get like a customized, personalized jersey. So it is just super cool and kind of like surreal, because it is sort of like, wow, like it's kind of cool. Like sometimes I feel like as student athletes here, we're really busy and we kind of don't like stop and smell the roses. And I think this is a cool like grounding, like, wow, okay, you're doing well. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't came here in like, I think freshman year, so I'm like, dang, like obviously like when I was a kid, like I always wanted to go to UCLA, and like seeing all these like stores and stuff, like having like these big athletes shirts and stuff like that, I'm like, dang, like maybe like it just makes you appreciate like what you accomplish and all your hard work, and I feel like that's just like the biggest thing. But yeah, it's like super cool.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a good reminder to keep me going. And I'm also happy for like, you know, the other sports as well, like, you know, basketball, soccer, you know, they find their way to get, you know, jerseys and stuff. But like the other sports like gymnastics, like maybe baseball, softball, all those sports, like it's good for those type of sports as well to, you know, get their recognition.
Any other questions?
Hey, Tracy McDaniel, BruinBlitz.com, cover UCLA for Rivals. Obviously, you know, with NIL, there's also a lot of strong opinions online, social media, and that sort of thing. How do you guys handle, you know, some of the downfalls of it? You know, say you have, you know, particularly tough game or something like that, and people are in your mentions. Like, do you guys do something to, you know, prepare yourselves from the mental health aspect of it?
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, for me though, like, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna say I don't look at it. Like, social media. I definitely look at the comments, but my growing up, like my childhood, I've always everything nothing was given to me. Like everything was earned, and to be honest, my mindset is I'm not gonna let someone on behind the screen that's gonna affect how I'm gonna play or how I'm gonna carry myself. Because I carry myself a certain way because of my mom, because of my dad. Like everybody can say whatever they want, like after a bad game or whatever, but that's not gonna define who I am as a person. So I always just keep that mindset. My mom is always, she's in the crowd right now. Like she's always like my biggest help in like talking out my feelings, talking out like, you know, how to move forward. And so I give a lot of credit to her on that one.
Yeah, when it comes to people talking about games and stuff, first off, they didn't wake up and go to practice that morning. They didn't put in those hours to be on the court, and you really can't listen to nobody that's not in your position. For me, you're gonna have good games. I done had good games. I had bad games. Go to Twitter. I'm all over Twitter, all over Instagram. We hate them, this and that. Then next game, you have a good game, they love you again. So it really don't matter. Fans gonna have their opinions. Fans gonna be fans regardless. As long as you put the ball in the hoop or kick a goal, you're gonna be all right. So I think when it comes to social media as an athlete, you gotta have a strong head on your shoulders for sure. But you gotta also think about the people are watching you. They pay tickets to watch you play. So you just gotta go out there with your best performance every night. But whatever happens off the court, or on the screen, it really doesn't affect me. Honestly, I really could care less. So.
For us, I think thankfully we don't have that many college students on burner accounts really bashing on us after every game. Probably not the case for you guys, but I think just handling hate or kind of negative comments as student athletes, I mean, I always try to reinforce the idea that my worth is found in Jesus Christ, not how I played or not my parents or even my teammates. And I think I try and really hold strong in that and just remind myself that kind of like what Eric said, I'm here because I deserve to be here, and I'm gonna continue to work hard regardless of what people are saying.
Yeah, I don't look at anything because I could care less what they say, because at the end of the day, they don't know what you're going through. They don't know that you're also human, and I feel like all your hard work and all your obviously if you have a bad game, that doesn't define you as a person. If you have a good game, then everybody's oh my God, you're so good, blah, blah, blah. And then when you have a bad game, it's who's there for you? It's obviously your family, your teammates, and your coaches, and I feel like their opinion is the only thing that matters for me.
Any final questions here? I want to make sure that we leave some time for autographs and pictures and maybe even printing a shirt while you guys are here. Walk out with a souvenir. So I'll leave it up. Any last question from the group? I can close this out if not. Okay, last question. What is something you're looking forward to? Doesn't have to be NIL related, but within this next year, this next season, what are you thinking about?
Thinking about Hello? Okay. I'm thinking about how we're going to hang the 12th banner in Poly. That's the only thing on my mind.
Same. Well, not 12th, third for us, but yeah, I'm just thinking about winning another national championship, first winning Big Ten regular season, and then Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward for season and obviously winning tournaments, but yeah. Winning.
Same as you did.
Well, can't wait to be there to cheer you guys on when that happens. Maybe final round of applause for our brilliant student athletes. It's such an honor to get to work with you all. And then I think I'll hand it over. Can we head to the press? Yeah, so little parting gift for you guys. We're gonna press some souvenir shirts over there. And then we'll have time to mingle and get an autograph or a picture while you guys are here. I know I want an autograph and a picture. So awesome. I'll take the mic and then we'll head over there.